give yourself a round of applause for making it tonight. Please. You guys are looking good, feeling good, smelling good.
One of the organizations that made this event last year was, I think, we increased more than 25%. Next year, we are really going to see at least 35 more, 25, 26 organizations, grants. The money that we raise tonight, it goes all to youth programs. Vulnerable youth programs, not everything. One of those things, the Somali Center for Family Services, what did you do is to make sure that everybody
I didn't really know what I was doing. Like a lot of entrepreneurs starting up, I didn't really know what I was trying to do. I just knew that I wanted to create something that would give me income, but at the same time allow me to express myself. So I had a lot of difficulties starting up, and I kind of wanted to talk about the challenges that Somalis will face.
Oh, this speaker. Can you guys hear me properly? That takes us nowhere.
So I want to leave you with that thought this evening. Our calling as a people is to come together and show the way. Our calling as a government is to work with the Canadian people to make sure that we continue to build something which is absolutely unique. Thank you to the Somali Center for Family Services for all of the incredible work that you do. Together with our schools, and particularly our teachers, you are a force for good. You're an agent of enculturation. You are a place that brings people together and keeps us together. That's our greatest strength. Thank you very much for having me. It's a great honor. You know where to reach me if you need me. I can't work miracles, but I'll do my very best. Merci beaucoup. Thanks very much.
Getting that work tonight have helped us out throughout the years, and they've dedicated their free time to just come out and make a difference and build this country. So without further ado, our first recipient is Fatima.
Love me as I love you. Be it a trickle or a flood, I must survive, so I will love you just as much. And I will trust you much less. But please do not be upset. It's not as if I trust myself that much more. You see, I was raised in the same way as you, to fear what I don't understand. But many fears are baseless. Many more are based on the same sense of self-preservation. Afraid to discover our common denomination. Afraid to discover what is common between our nations. Afraid that we are much more closely related, our resemblance is uncanny. So why focus on what separates? Why then segregate? Why only tolerate and not wholly embrace? Let's erase race and save face. Say grace and hold hands till the day breaks. Therefore, judge me as you judge yourself. And I will love you as much as you love yourself. Thank you very much.
Moving on to the next speaker. Dr. Medina Mohammed grew up in Ottawa and graduated from Ottawa University. She completed her undergrad in health sciences.
It's really heartwarming to be here today, to come to an event like this and see how well our Somali community is doing. I want to give a big thank you to everyone who put this event together tonight, and everyone who worked so tirelessly at the Somali Center every day. I grew up here in Ottawa. My family arrived here with refugees when I was 2 years old, and Ottawa's been my home ever since. Growing up, education was always something that was stressed in my family. I remember when we were young, we were only allowed to watch half an hour of television every day. And of course, my favorite show was Sister Sister. So all of our homework had to be done and had to be correct before we were allowed to get to watch some TV. My parents and older siblings always stressed the importance of working hard and dreaming big. We were often told about how lucky we are to be in this country and to have the opportunities that are afforded to us and to really make the most of them. And that's something that really struck with me both as a child and throughout the course of my life. So knew that I was interested in the healthcare field, but didn't know exactly what I wanted to do within the field until about high school. At the time, my best friend's brother had just enrolled in medical school and came home during all of his breaks and was so passionate talking about everything that he was learning, and that was something that really inspired me. I started to think about the field of medicine as a possible career choice for myself, and really started to work towards achieving this goal. I started by shadowing my family physician, and with each visit with her, I fell more and more in love with the field of medicine, and I knew that this is something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So I can definitely tell you that the road to being here today has never been an easy one. After high school, I enrolled in the health sciences program at the University of Ottawa, and I spent 4 years there really buckling down, trying to get good grades and make the most of my time. I come to my 4th year of undergrad, I applied to medical school and was lucky enough to be accepted to the University of Ottawa Faculty of Medicine. And let me tell you, if I thought university was tough, medical school was a real challenge. But it was the absolute best kind of challenge. My 4 years there absolutely flew by, and I'm currently a 2nd-year resident at the Ottawa Hospital, studying to become an internist. So what I really wanted to focus on tonight was talking about the importance of education and hard work. I recently developed an interest in baking, and I really enjoy the process of putting different ingredients together to come up with something special. And to me, baking is analogous to how to succeed in any endeavor in life. To really be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, you must bring together all of the necessary ingredients. And I think that as a community, we should not only encourage, but expect from our youth. People are often surprised when they hear that I'm a physician, and this saddens me a little bit, because this shouldn't be something that's a surprise. We should have more Somali doctors, lawyers, police officers, nurses, what have you. This should be our new norm. And we as a Somali community, mashallah, are very strong and we're very tight-knit. And we should all really work together and to strive to focus on education, not only to improve our lives, but to improve the lives of future generations to come. So I know that was short, hopefully sweet, but I'm honored to be here tonight to be able to speak with you all, and I hope that we can all take away a key message that with hard work, all of our dreams are achievable. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.
So, that being said, we got another entertainment piece, a little bit of stand-up comedy. Habiba Ali is a proud mother of 3 beautiful, mashallah, girls. She's an active community member and a proud Muslim Somali Canadian.
Yeah, stand-up comedy. If you don't laugh at my jokes, it's okay. I have a full-time job. So, it doesn't matter. Just go back to work in the morning. I'm so proud to hear your story about being a doctor. And you know, every Somali parent wants us to be doctors. Admit it. Doctor or lawyer or you suck. But that's not realistic. I told my mom when I found out about social working that I wanted to be a social worker. And then my mom looked at me and said, and for those of you who know my mom, she's pretty tall, so I was looking up at her like this. She said, "Excuse me? You want to be a social worker? You are already social. Who's going to give you a job to be more social?" I said, "That's not what it's about. You said social worker. I know English. I'm a little 6 years older. So, you want to get a job to be more social? It's not acceptable. Go be a doctor." Like that girl over there, she would say. That's Somali. Hold on.
Good evening, everyone. Bonsoir tout le monde. Thank you for allowing me to join you here on such a beautiful and spring-like evening. Climate change is alive and well, isn't it? First of all, I want to thank you for all of those of you who supported me in the last election and supported my party. Thank you for your support. And for those of you who have not supported me or my party, we're going to work very hard to earn your trust, to be able to convince you that the path that we're on is the right one for the country. There are going to be some radical changes in Canada. Our approach to government is going to be and is very different. We're going to be opening the doors. We're going to be letting people have a close look. We're going to let the sun and the light shine in. Canadian citizens will be able to see exactly what information is held by the government in its entirety on them with a click of a mouse. Canadian scientists have been free to speak openly in Canada and abroad. The media are now regularly interviewing Canadian senior public officials and getting information that up to now, for the last decade, they've not had access to. We're making dramatic changes in terms of Canada in the world. Today, our Minister for International Cooperation announced $100 million additional for the Syrian refugee crisis in terms of investments right on the spot, on the ground where it matters. In the last several days, the first 1,000 visas for refugees have been issued. We're making dramatic changes when it comes to family reunification, increasing the numbers. We're going to go back and resource properly a department which has been starved, cash starved, in terms of the personnel and the human capacity it needs to do its job on behalf of Canada. Because immigration isn't a nuisance. Immigration is not a pure moral issue. Immigration is the lifeblood of Canada's economy. That's why we have the highest per capita levels of immigration in the world today, and have for many years. That is not going to change. We're going to be revisiting Bill C-51, just as we promised. And when it is in the hands, the very capable hands of Minister Ralph Goodale, one of the most seasoned and experienced members of Parliament in the House of Commons. There will be many, many changes to that legislation. Amendments are being prepared as I speak this evening. And when the committees are struck in early February, amendments will be going forward to improve that bill, take out the onerous and unacceptable passages, and bring in, as we promised, proper parliamentary oversight of all of our security agencies. If you want to know what we're going to be doing for Canada and for you and for Canadians, go to our website. There's a 90-page platform document. We are implementing our platform. Yes, we've had to delay by only a month or so the full receipt of 25,000 Syrian refugees, but we're doing it responsibly. And I think with the vast majority of Canadians with us as we take on the responsibilities we should be in the world. Let me say a bit about Canada-Somalia relations. I spent many years of my legal career in Africa. I trained hundreds of African judges and lawyers and regulatory officers. I lived in West Africa and worked in 22 West and Central African countries for 3 years. Canada needs to re-engage in Africa, and nowhere, in my view, more directly and more immediately than with Somalia. The biggest attribute Canada has now on the global scene is this: we are all about good governance. The Canadian Charter of Rights and the Canadian Constitution is increasingly the fundamental document being used by governments around the world. It was the inspiration for the new South African Constitution. It was used in the context of numbers of countries in Africa and beyond to, for example, strengthen human rights. It has become the preferred model in law schools around the planet, displacing the American Constitution and other documents. In my view, I've always believed that Canada's greatest calling card is helping to improve the way governance works. I think we have a real important role to play in Somalia. I met recently with 5 or 6 leaders of the community, and we're looking at a plan now to go forward to be able to re-engage more meaningfully in Africa and directly with Somalia. So stay tuned. There are positive things coming on that front as well. Let me say a little bit about, let me conclude with this. Let me say a little bit about Canada. I've had the incredible privilege in my life to work in projects and live in over 52 countries. So my perspective is a little bit different than many Canadians. My view is comparative in nature. Where does Canada fit in the global order? Not just the international economic order, a rules-based trading system, exports, trade treaties. That's important, very important. But what is our real calling? What is our mission in life? In this district where we're sitting here tonight, there are 82 languages spoken now, 145 countries of origin. My kids, who are now in their 20s, used to say, "Dad, we want to go traveling." They'd ask all the time to go traveling. And I'd say, "Kids, walk out the back door and walk around the block." Because everybody's here. Everybody's here. You know, on Parliament Hill, every week another foreign delegation comes through, and they always ask the very same question. How is it possible you've come together from everywhere, every part of the planet, every dance type, music type, dress type, food type, every color, creed, religion, practice, everything here in one place? How have you managed to do this? And the answer is always simply, it's the Canadian way. I believe profoundly that part of what we are and who we are is to look out for each other. It's to make sure that nobody gets left behind. And as Habiba was saying earlier, with her family of 10 children, my parents had 10 children. 6 brothers and 4 sisters. Lots of love, lots of meat and potatoes. Not a lot of frills. But my mother used to always say to her 10 children, remember that if you pull apart, you're going to feel like you're 5. But if you pull together, you're going to feel like you're 20. Canada is about pulling together. And it's not only in our enlightened self-interest to do this. It's not just to make sure that my grandkids, my kids, your grandkids have the same opportunities, the same shot in life. That's important. But what's our really, really important calling? It's to show the way forward. Trust me. Many of you know what I'm saying. You hear me, you understand, you internalize this. The world is increasingly turning to Canada as the model. We have a higher obligation to make sure that we build something absolutely unique. Absolutely unique. It's incredible what we're building. Every year I see about 1,500 children on Parliament Hill. It's a big priority. And for the kids who come from schools that are slightly in areas where they can't necessarily afford the school bus, my riding association will pay for the bus. I think it's really important for kids to learn what it is our parliamentary institutions actually do. But in the discussion I have with them, I always ask them to stop for a moment and look at each other. Because in a group of 80 children, you might have 30 countries of origin. It is unbelievable. And I say to the kids each and every time, look at each other and understand how wealthy you are. And invariably, 2 or 3 of the kids will put their hands in their pockets looking for money. And I say to the kids, as my mother used to say, money isn't wealth. And wealth isn't money. We are wealthy beyond belief as a people. We are rich beyond belief as a people. And this evening is about, in part, celebrating that wealth and remembering to treasure it and savor it. And not letting outside forces that would seek to divide us, not letting those forces divide us. We've come through a campaign where there were forces and there were voices that tried to divide us. And I think the Canadian people in their wisdom rose up and said, that's enough. That's enough now. We're going to move to another approach, an inclusive approach. Because it's easy to pit group against group. It's easy to divide a province from another province, a group of Canadians from another group of Canadians, but that takes us nowhere. So I want to leave you with that thought this evening. Our calling as a people is to come together and show the way. Our calling as a government is to work with the Canadian people to make sure that we continue to build something which is absolutely unique. Thank you to the Somali Centre for Family Services for all of the incredible work that you do. Together with our schools, and particularly our teachers, you are a force for good. You're an agent of enculturation. You are a place that brings people together and keeps us together. That's our greatest strength. Thank you very much for having me. It's a great honor. You know where to reach me if you need me. I can't work miracles, but I'll do my very best. Merci beaucoup. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Mr. McGinty, for those kind words, wise words. So, up next, we're gonna have one of these Somali Center workers come up, Mona Khalif, to award those volunteers who are hardworking and help the community center. So please, help me welcome Mona Khalif.
So for our volunteer award, we have 2 recipients. As we have a lot of programs going on, it wouldn't have been successful without getting the help from these volunteers. And the 2 recipients that will be getting the award tonight have helped us out throughout the years, and they've dedicated their free time to just come out and make a difference and build these kids' future. So without further ado, our first recipient is Fatima Ali. He couldn't be with us tonight. So on his behalf, we're gonna have Shamarki accept the award for Roble Noor. Up next, we have from Wanat Charity, Qatra Ali. She will explain to you guys what Wanat Charity is all about.
So I'm just going to quickly talk about Wanat, what is it? So first we would like to thank Somali Center for giving us this opportunity to introduce ourselves today. So we are a group of friends that came up with the idea to help the most disadvantaged families in Djibouti, which is a small country located in the Horn of Africa. So we formed Wanat Charity, a registered non-profit organization. This year, we start collecting donation, a minimum of $10 per person every month. And that was, we started out with our close friends and families. So that was in order to provide food and other basic necessities to the most disadvantaged families. So of course, we made a list of criteria in order to select families. We help, for example, a low-income household, a single parent household, and orphan or a member with a mental or physical disability. So for the member, we are providing only monthly food donation to 5 families. However, we would like to increase the number of families as well as our project in the future. So in June this year, we had an event aiming to raise funds to provide food for the month of Ramadan, and it goes into many disadvantaged families in Djibouti. And we were able to provide not only for the 5 families we had, but 10 more families that we added that month of Ramadan. Now we want to continue helping these families to be self-sufficient by finding them employment over there in Djibouti and letting them start their own small business, all according to their capabilities and what is more promising within the situation. And so we're here tonight just to let you know about the organization, and if you have any questions, you can come and see us in our table, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Khadra Ali. So, guys, it's about that time, something I'm very excited for, because I am famished. Dinner is ready, okay? And we're gonna be doing it table by table. So for those of you who are in the higher numbers, I apologize. Stay strong. So, with that being said, we have a silent auction, okay, to my left, so I'm guessing your right. So please, open up your wallets and be generous. There's some coffee, who doesn't love coffee? Some other nice awards for you guys to win on the silent auction. So please, we encourage you to go over in that area and try to win something. So again, we're going table by table. Table 1 and 2 will be going first. We have also a buffet style going down on that end. So for you who are hungry, bon appetit. And on top of that, we also will have a local singer named Awada Aden, who will be singing as you guys are eating, a little bit of entertainment as you guys eat. So please enjoy. So number 1, table 1 and 2, please go on and you two eat your serve. Ottawa by day. He's around coach by night. He is the co-founder and vice president of Soccer Club, as well as a father of 3 and a foster parent of 1. He'll be speaking on encouraging parent participation in organized sports. So please help me welcome him on time.
Thank you, everyone. First of all, I want to thank, on behalf of Stuart Parents, the volunteers, to thank Somali Center for Family Services for inviting us to come here to actually tell you a few things about Stuart was started by parents who decided that they wanted to create a club where the children of Somali descent persons participate in organized sports. As you know, in this city, there are a huge number of players who participate in different kind of leagues and play competitive soccer. And we knew that our children were no exception, but there was really no avenue or there was no trying to create.
Next year, we are really going to see at least 35 more, 25, 46 organizations that will participate. The money that we raise tonight, it goes all to youth programs. 100 youth programs, not every youth. And one of those things, the Somali Center for Family Services, what is it to make sure that